Right, gents. I was going to do this live, however, I thought there'd be too much dramas with connections because I live in the arse end of nowhere and stuff like that. So I just thought I'd make the video unedited. If I mumble, deal with it. It'll be about 20 minutes long and is out everyone's favourite lizard. I just want to really break down her arguments and see if we can come to some middle ground and see if we can't just all kiss and make up. Because at the end of the day, smash. Everyone's not denying that. Definitely a smash, but it is what it is. Right, so the Telegraph on this story has my name in it, unfortunately, because there's a lot of what I'd say borderline bias within it. However, it is what it is. It's freedom of press, and everyone has to love that, and I myself hold it very dear. Maybe used a little bit maliciously here, however, what can you do? So, Tory activist, why is Vladimir Putin's cyber army thrashing my reputation with hateful fake news? So, I'm just going to go through this in slow time and see if we can't learn anything from Miss Ahmed. And this is only my personal opinion, not an opinion of any companies or any organisations, just my personal opinion. Alright, so at the age of 26, Azi Ahmed turned her back on an arranged marriage and instead chose to sign up with the SAS. Just as a side note, first sentence, and she's already jacked on something. Or her parents didn't arrange it properly, so they would have shit at admin. So, first sentence, you know, I think Hereford is basics done well. She has shit admin. Jacked. First fucking, right, one sentence. And in my eyes, she's not Hereford material. But anyway, at 4'11" and weighing 7 stone, I actually tried to confirm the minimum heights for Hereford or just being a clerk, because I was unsure myself and never had to deal with it. I'm 6'2". So I decided to go to the Army website. Some of you may not be able to see this, but this is the conversation I had with the Army rep. How can I help? What is the minimum height needed to be a clerk? Response, I don't believe there is one. So I said, so a dwarf can join. And they said, I don't believe they can. So I said, there must be a minimum. This is what you get when you outsource army recruitment and some 21-year-old Liz Wardo with 2 kids, a level 2 BTEC in hairdressing, and you pay her 16 grand a year. This is what you get for fucking recruitment. But I digress from the real issue. But that just sums up this entire thing. That, you know, hand can't find a cock for a wank in this organisation. Anyway, so we're 2 sentences in. It's going to be a long old fucking video because it's 3 minutes in already. Right, so I don't know the minimum. The one measurement I could find is 148 for females. However, obviously, there's no measurement for females in selection. But we'll give it to her. Even more so that she was Muslim. Cheers, we all have imaginary friends. 16 years on, Miss Ahmed, a Conservative Party activist and a friend of Sir Michael Fallon, stretching a bit there, has found herself the victim of a vicious race-hate campaign. Right, I'm going to be perfectly honest here, and I can only speak from my own experience. Race-hate within the military. I would probably say that 99% of the blokes I've ever met or served with have an element of race-hate. In fact, I'd go as far as 99.9%. And I don't speak on behalf of all the blokes, but there is definitely race hate. I mean, to be honest, the 2 biggest races, and I know this is going to not be PC, but the 2 biggest fucking races that the blokes just fucking hate. Log race and the stretcher race. Now the stretcher race, at least, you know, it provides a service, it does something. The log race, it can fuck off to wherever it came from. The log race, on it, it's just fucking sickening. If there was a vote tomorrow, and people voted with their hearts, they would get rid of the fucking log race. It would fuck off to log land or wherever it came from. But there's definitely a lot of race hate within the military, but those are the 2 key. And the Jews. But, putting that to one side. It's a joke, obviously. But, she believes it has, okay, so the race hate law. She believes it has been orchestrated by the Kremlin. I'm kind of impressed by that, because for something that I just saw and made a little fucking mocking video on, has now been orchestrated by a superpower government. All from the FM office, eh? Cheers, Dits. Anyway, because of her links to the Defence Secretary, the only thing I can say about that is, I made the mocking video outing you on loose women. And it was only after that someone found you on YouTube introducing the Defence Secretary and then sent it to me and then I posted it. So you've mixed those two things around months down the line to make all this muddy water. But I can see very clearly. Yes, Ahmed. Anyway, so there we go. Last month, I should say, a television network financed by Vladimir Putin's government published an online article questioning Miss Ahmed's version of events over her attempt to join 21 SAS, the Reserve Regiment of Special Forces. It just says here her attempt to join 21. So just remember those words. On the same day the article appeared on the website, Defence Secretary done something, blah blah. The picture with the obvious pickup points of having an RLC flasher, buttons undone, elastic bound to her ankles, issued boots that it's just hair out of order, but earrings, everything about that says that someone run into a fucking army surplus and said, here's a tenner, give me what you got. Anyway, that's her on her book. Anyway, only a few months earlier at the Conservative Party conference, Miss Ahmed, an internet entrepreneur, I don't know what she's done, what company she's created, and a defeated Tory party candidate in Rochdale was introduced Michael Fallon to delegates. I mean, if you go to a wedding and get introduced to people, don't mean they're your mucker. Russia Today cast doubt on her claims over her time in Hereford, which she subsequently turned into a book Worlds Apart, a Muslim girl with the SAS. The network quoted a former paratrooper, fucking yours truly, Alfie Usher, who said Hereford sources had told him Miss Ahmed had, at most, been put through pre-training, a beat-up course, which he described as selection light. Someone did say it was selection light, but it was actually pre-selection, and the trouble is when you type pre-selection, people think that you just type pre twice by mistake. However, selection light made it seem, well, it is. Anyway, it quoted a former SAS instructor at the time who conceded that Miss Ahmed was attached to F21. Yeah, but people are attached. Any cat badge can be attached to multiple units. I don't have, and that is no connection. Only civvies will not see the disconnect there. But added, she claims she did the same as the blokes. That's an outright lie. This entire thing's an outright lie, obviously. But the article triggered a flood of vile race hate and sexist abuse on social media that Miss Ahmed feared for her life. It made her fear for her life. Now, I know from personal experience, red blokes that have gone on selection and gone on to path, and their one Achilles heel, the one thing that always got to them, was that they feared for their life from Facebook comments. They wanted to go to Hereford, so they could be going to Afghan, kicking in doors and killing cunts. But what they really, really, really were scared of were Facebook comments. You lying piece of trash. If that's honestly what would deem you necessary to fear for your life, definitely Hereford material. And then the internet trolls said other stuff. So, a picture of her with her nose out. Miss Ahmed said they included allegations that I lied about my training, demanding a public apology, which I still demand, which I would really, really appreciate. I mean, there's a fine line between me actually feeling sorry for you and hoping that you get sections so you can sort the shit out, but still thinking that you kind of owe everyone else an apology. Accuse me of stealing from the army, never accuse you of stealing from the army. Unless there's a chef that's diffy that kit that you was wearing previously. And they call me a lying whore, scum, fraudster. I've never called you a whore. I have no evidence that you're a whore. Scum, I guess, is open to interpretation. And fraudster, I probably won't put it that politely, but yeah, I'll give you fraudster. I eventually stopped reading and mechanically pressed delete as they came in. No, you never. Before I posted the video, I have a conscience. So I contacted you. I messaged you, I tweeted you, I tried to contact you as many ways as I can. To say, I've got this video, I've made it, but can you answer some questions? Because none of this makes fucking sense. But you blocked me. So I put the video up, and then other blokes contacted you. You had the option of a right to reply, not something that you gave me in this article. So that's why I have to make this video. The systematic, well-orchestrated attack forced her to close down her Facebook, Twitter and email accounts. Now, I don't currently have a CV, but I'm going to write one just so I can put I am capable of running a systematic, well-orchestrated attack on anyone. Something that the Kremlin probably puts on its CV. She also says her website was hacked. Any evidence of this, or are you just saying it? I can say anything, but you say anything and the papers will print it. As a result of the abuse, the Conservative Party called her into a meeting to respond to the allegations, while her public speaking engagements dried up. They didn't dry up. Another lie, and I hate calling you out all the time. However, your public speaking arrangement in Salisbury, which was actually next week, I booked a ticket for. And you only cancelled it the day of this article. It's weird how, a couple of days after I book a ticket to come and meet you at your event, everything gets fucking closed down. I made this original video outing you months ago. And this has all come to a head when you've got to come up with a fucking reason to cancel speaking because you don't want to be sitting there in a fucking hall when I stand up and go, this is all fucking bollocks. Anyway. Miss Ahmed denies lying. Not something that a lie would do, is it? And I didn't realise that denying stuff is just, it means crack on. You know, if I ever go to court after murdering someone, and I was found with the murder weapon on me, and I have a video of me stabbing the person to death, and I go, wasn't me. And it doesn't even go, well, he does deny it. Can't argue that. He denies it, you know. Yeah, fucking 9/10 of the law, denial. Cheers, Alfie. Have a good one. Right, Miss Ahmed denies lying about her training. It says military pulled the plug on what she had been on experiment to see if women could join the thing. Right, so anyway, previously it was about her serving. Do you remember when I said about 2-1 serving with Hereford? And now it was pulled from the experiment of trying on selection. The entire story has inconsistencies within the same page. Anyway, she also accused the Kremlin of ordering the attack on her to discredit the Defence Secretary. Discredit the Defence Secretary. I'm just going to rattle a few facts off here. Yeah, he got done for defence, for expensive scandals of, I think, 8 or 9 grand. And prior to Defence Secretary, he was the Minister of Portsmouth, of Culture, of Energy. Honestly, you two are both fucking shitcoms. And if you jettison each other, you'd both be better off. However, the worst thing about that, one of you was in Hereford, and one of you is the Defence Secretary, and none of you will know what fucking jettison means. Absolute cunts. So either way, I'm kind of proud of that though. The fact that you're making shit up, and you don't believe this yourself, you're just doing it to try and make me look bad, is one thing. But the fact that people are going to read this and think, you know that bloke on through your boots? Yeah, he's backed by the fucking Kremlin. Mother Russia. Anyway, there's the Defence Secretary doing whatever he does all day. And Miss Ahmed, cutting pensions probably that day. Miss Ahmed said, I believe the Russians are behind the attacks, working in cahoots with former British soldiers. Right, great thing to say, Miss Ahmed. Any proof? Anything at all? We're just going to say stuff. No? I don't, and please just respond to all this. Prove me wrong on all this. I would love it. I would love to be wrong. My training was 16 years ago, so why now and why so nasty? Because you weren't on Loose Women 16 years ago. You weren't writing books 16 years ago. It was too close to the time for this bullshit to get through. If you'd done it a year later, people would say, no, it's fucking bollocks. She was on my selection 6 weeks ago. But now the trouble is, people that have been on selection have been out and it all disbanded, and you can use the mud in the grey areas. And that, oh yeah, I forgot it wasn't March, it was April type scenarios that people forget 16 years ago. So yes, you have emerged from the fucking swamp 16 years later. That is why it's come to a head now. I believe the Russians would have not published it if I hadn't have introduced Sir Michael Fallon. Stop dropping his name, and everyone will stop connecting you to him, firstly. Number two, the Walter Mitty Hunters Club published an article about you being a walk cunt 18 months ago, before you introduced him. Just a fact. But facts obviously mean nothing to you. My website blog was hacked, which seems out of character for normal internet trolls. What hurt me most was they accused me of profiting from training. Okay. But proceeds from my book go to the veteran charity Care After Combat. I'm not accusing the charity of anything. I know that there's been allegations, and the charity commissions have looked into people being paid high wages, and that the government gave the charity £1 million, and there were a couple of people on the board getting 55 grand a year for various roles. But that's one side. The book did not sensationalise 2-1, but tried to show the world the British Army is a forward-thinking establishment. Army logic at its best. What I'm going to do is I'm going to make bollocks up to make the army look good. Anyway. It's not racist or sexist. I just wanted to promote diversity in the army. All these buzzwords, but honestly, and I'm speaking from the heart here, okay, honestly, you find one woman that's serving, that think in any way that you have benefited or advanced women within the military. Find one. Because I know fucking hundreds that think you're a fucking shit stain on society. You find me one woman, or one person from the ethnic community or diversity, but anything, LGBT community, any minority, basically anyone who isn't a white straight bloke, you find one of them people and see if they think that you are a good thing or a bad thing. Cheers. You may look good with Michael Fallon, but honestly, just I can't be dealing with this shit. Jim Davidson, the comedian and chairman, wasn't he done for racism or something like that? Anyway, he's one of the people that are being looked into for a 55 grand a year role at a charity. He defended Miss Ahmed, which I'd defend someone that was bringing me in that much money a year. He served with the Territorial Army for 2.5 years from 1999 to 2002. This is a vile attack on a very plucky woman. Not sure if he used the word plucky there. He said, Azi does a lot of great work for the military, and we at the charity received royalties from her book. Cool. I know that SAS soldier who trained her, and he said she was bloody good. Where's this bloke? Why does he not talk to anyone that served? Why does he only talk to comedians? Also, I didn't realise Hereford was a one-on-one scenario. One-to-one training. But it was just that one bloke, was it? I think people should be supporting someone who is courageous enough to do what she's doing. Don't get me wrong. Courage could slip into this. To come up with such a sensational lie and to fucking stick with it is incredible. Absolutely incredible. Mind-blowing. However, this needs to stop. I don't appreciate the Telegraph printing stuff with my name in it, with race hate and stuff like that, and I don't appreciate all this. But I know myself that none of this applies to me. I've got a clean conscience. You're the one's got to sleep at night. Anyway, so that's 18 minutes of information, and that's part 1. We have a part 2 tomorrow, so I'll leave you gentlemen to it, and have a good night.